try this again here. Is that better? Hopefully that's better. Technology, technology, technology. I gotta love it. Okay, in fixing the technology, I lost my pen. Oh boy. Be back 1 second, folks. Here we go. Here we go. Got it. Hey, come on in. Come on in. I love that you're here. Come on in. Invite your friends. Send me some hearts. Let me know you're here. Hit invite. Let me know that I can't invite this guest. Sorry, Kathleen can't join. That's interesting. Just learning about this new split screen feature. And it's interesting. It says I can invite some, but not others. So I'll have to test that out. Bring on a guest to the Come Home to Yourself experience. How's everybody doing tonight? Let me know in the comments. How are you? Blessings and love to you too, my beautiful sailing friend. How was it today? Share some details. Hey, Camille, come on in. Renzalea, I see you. Hey, I'm here. I love it. I love it. Let me know you're here. Invite your friends to join. Click invite. Invite some folks to join us tonight so we can dive into the conversation. Good evening. Yes, it is a good evening. And I definitely am blessed that we're having a good evening and want to send prayers and thoughts to our brothers and sisters in the Houston area. This hurricane is devastating, just watching the reports and the rescues and all that is happening. So let's make sure we're continuing to lift our brothers and sisters up in prayer. Moments like this really show and remind us of our blessings. And, you know, when we're going through, somebody's always going through something even worse than what we may be going through. So please continue to pray and do whatever you can for whoever you can. So I don't know if anybody has family and friends there, but please, if you do, let us know so we can lift them up in prayer by name. And if there's something that we can do for you, you can definitely put it in the comments. Yes, Reverend Kathy, great time. Enjoyed the wetlands, the bay, and the bird. Oh, the dolphins. You look quite refreshed in your picture. What an amazing picture that was of you. And I love how you are hashtagging coming home to yourself. So wonderful. Excuse me. Hi, Helen. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining. Excuse me, something is repeating on me. Feel free to invite your friends. I'm going to take the time to introduce myself. Those who are on here know me, and there's a few who don't. My name is Carol Ann Jones. I am a certified life coach and health coach, and I help women and support them in being healthy and even more fabulous, because our health is our true wealth. We're always going after things and we have hopes and dreams and aspirations, but we need our health to make sure that we're staying in the game and we can go after everything we want, everything we desire, every aspiration and dream and desire that's still inside of us. So our health is very important. Many of you know I've had some significant losses in my life, including my own mom, and I want to inspire others to live a life of health, because no one is promised tomorrow. We are born, we have a birth date, but we also have a date that we will leave this earth. And that time in between, I want to encourage us to be healthy and to be happy and to be fabulous and amazing beings. So thank you so much for being a part of this journey with me. Hey, Denise. Woo woo. So glad you're here. Hi, Sharonda. Ladies, gentlemen, come on in. Invite your friends. Send me some hearts and thumbs up. Thank you for those hearts. I love it. So thank you for joining me tonight. We've been on this 7-week journey, and I want to stop and pause and say thank you. I don't take it lightly that you're here spending time with me. You could be doing anything else with your time, but you are showing up in this place, in this space, and I am so grateful. Thank you to those who have been putting comments in the thread, been sending me private messages to let me know what you've been up to, what ahas, what revelations that you learned along the way. I'm just so inspired by you. So I want to say thank you. And if you haven't sent me anything and you would like to share, I would love some testimonies. Please feel free to send me a direct message or drop them on my page. I want others to know what you're experiencing, what you've learned, because when we tell somebody else about something good, Denise J. Hart, love her to death, fabulous coach. She always says, don't keep the good stuff to yourself, which I love. So if you've got some good stuff, if you're learning some good stuff, make sure you're sharing it and let me know so I can share it with others. I am so grateful for you too, Reverend Kathy. Oh, you just bless my heart. And Reverend Kathy and her writing and her words, and she is the bomb.com online minister of music. Every morning she sends out these inspirational songs, and I just want you to know how much that has been carrying me through. How that has just blessed me. And sometimes when I was just low and just felt like I just need something, and you just come and you drop that song in the morning in the prayer, and I love it. It's just always so on time, such a beautiful gift. So thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing that beautiful gift with us. And I love that you tagged me, that I'm included in the tribe. So thank you. So we have been on this 7-week Come Home to Yourself experience. And if you've been loving the journey, send me some hearts. Let me know you've been loving it. And if you haven't been loving it, let me know what you're not loving about it. Let me know what you need. Annette, yay! Hey, Angela. Hey, my ladies, come on in. So glad to see you. Invite your friends. Send me some hearts. Say I'm here. Let me know. Praise be to God. Ministry workout walls. Amen. Amen. So we've been on this 7-week Come Home to Yourself experience, and tonight is week 4. And this is a journey that I've created to help us to connect to the voice of mind, body, spirit, your mind, your body, and your spirit, while enticing and inspiring new realms of your divine and powerful feminine essence. Because we're all created to be amazing. I know this space is attracting men. So we're created, if you're a man, you were created to walk in your male energy. Woman, walk in your feminine essence, your divinity, all that God has placed inside of you. Why? Because it's a gift that he gave to us. There's power in that. There's power in our strength. There's power in our vulnerability. And it's just beautiful to show up in the world in all parts of ourselves. So the first 3 weeks we covered honor yourself, honor where you are. That was week 1. Week 2, we discussed reconnect to your feminine fire. Week 3, we discussed envision your divine destination. And tonight, we're going to talk about unapologetically standing in your truth. So what is that about? Can anybody on here say, I unapologetically stand in my truth no matter what? And what that means is you show up as you are. You don't try to become something for somebody else. Have you ever been there? Or you try to play a bit smaller because you don't want to appear as if, whatever. Oh, tonight I want to talk about where have you dimmed your light along the way to accommodate or appease somebody else. Hi, Felicia. let's talk about this. Are we willing to be a little bit vulnerable here? Where have you played small when you know you should have been playing big, authentic? Yes. Tell me about the times when you know you knew the answer to something, but maybe you pulled back a little bit for whatever reason, or there was something you just wanted to step out boldly and do, but you didn't because you didn't think that umbrella of I'm not good enough, or I'm too old, I'm too young, I'm too fat, I'm too small, I'm too this, I'm too that. Whatever. Has there ever been a time in your life when you know that you didn't step out in all of your amazingness and all of your wonder? Anybody, has there ever been a time, or you've always just been big and amazing and you always had it together and you just stepped out in your truth? Like, anybody know that feeling? Maybe many of you have lived your life that way, and I hope you have, where you were always operating in your light and never in your dark, because light and dark are two sides of the same coin, and we need to own both parts pretty much my entire life. Thank you, Denise, for showing up. I love that. Light and dark, and sometimes we're taught to, you shut down the dark, right? You don't own it. You snuff it out. It gets quieted. Somebody even physically or figuratively choked out your like that part of you that was shouting, hey, no, I'm big, I got it, I can do this. And it was like, no, you're too much. You ever had that? Been told you're too much. Oh yeah, play myself small to accommodate small-minded folks. And it didn't work anyway. Yes, I can't seem to choose my words wisely. Okay, ladies, thank you for showing up. Tonight is about us taking a stand and looking at those areas of our life and saying, where did I play small for somebody else? Or where was I told I was too much, or I wasn't something, and I sort of bought into the lie, or I just, I fell back because I knew it's what I had to do to survive, and it could be surviving in a relationship, surviving in a job, surviving in a family, because sometimes we're told to stay in our lane, right? And the lane has been defined for us. Has that ever happened to you, where your lane was defined for you, but you knew that, let me do it, I'll create a whole highway. But life showed up and we kind of stayed in that place, in that space. And tonight it has been a lifelong struggle trying to get to accommodate and assimilate. I was miserable. Yes, always the cheerleader. How many of, yes, ladies, yes, I love it. Thank you for showing up. How many of us have been in these places where it's been a struggle and we've been the cheerleader for somebody else, but on the inside, we wanted somebody to cheer for us. We wanted somebody to come along and help us through the struggle. And yet we were trying to figure it out. Tonight is about, we all like to dress up and be cute, right? Or put on our cute little, if black is not your color, you insert your color. Put on our little black dress. And tonight is about putting on our black dress of vulnerability and shouting, this is me right now at this stage. This is all of me. And that's every part of you, the parts that are beautiful and bright, the parts that are dim and need some assistance, the parts that you think are petty or indifferent or ugly or not so cute. Tonight is about owning. Love to dress up. I know you do, and you look fabulous. Tonight is about owning all of those parts of you. And I want you to take a minute to think about an area where you are not fully standing in your truth. And what I mean is that you know that you could be playing bigger, that you could be showing up brighter, that there's something for you to do, to say, to get rid of, to declutter, but you're not doing it. If there's one thing One thing, type the number 1 for me. If there's one thing you can grasp onto and say, I know there is one area that I could be playing bigger in. I know it, and I'm not fully owning it. Maybe I'm working on it, but I'm not 100% there. Is there one area? This is me, all of me. The loud, yes, the loud and the silence. Amen. Amen. Is there another, just one area where you're saying, I want to play bigger. I want to play bolder because I hear my truth calling me. I know what my truth is. I know that I'm gifted. I know that I'm talented. I know that I'm amazing. I know that I'm smart. And there's some area of my life where, remember, because we talked about you only have to be 1% better every day, because 1% plus 1% plus 1%, and you keep going for days, for months, for years. Well, that number becomes huge and your progress becomes great and grand. So where is it in your life where you know there's just one area that, at least one, you may have more than one, I'm just asking for one, where you want to step out and say, you know what, this is me. It may not be perfect, but I'm tired of dimming my light, and I want to step out in my boldness and my brightness. There's something for me to do. I want you to just own that part, if there is one, of an area where you are denying yourself of your gifts, where you're denying yourself the right to brag on yourself, where you're denying yourself the right to stand up boldly and say, I am amazing. There is more for me to do. I may not have all the answers yet, but I know that I'm going to do X, Y, Z, or I know I'm going to get whatever it is. And you fill in the blank. You think about that, whatever that is. And I want you to write it on a piece of paper, a Post-it or something. It doesn't have to be now when we get off this call tonight. I really want you to think about, where is that area in your life? And I want you to also ask yourself the question, how much, or what is the price that I'm paying to my soul, to my spirit, to my essence, to not play bigger, to not move from this, to not turn the dial up on the brightness of that area where you said there's one area. What is it costing you? What is it costing you in your soul to stay in that place? And what are you willing to do? What's the 1%, the one thing, the one baby step? What are you willing to do to take that step? And that one step may be just tonight, putting in the thread, what is that area for you, where you want to play bigger? Because this is a community of support. So when you start putting things out there, there's a couple of you who've already dropped some things in previous threads, and we're holding you accountable to what you want, to what you desire. Because you know what? When we try to do things by ourselves, it becomes more difficult than it needs to be. But when you're in a community, when you're surrounded by people who are going to support you, people who are going to lift you up, it makes the journey so much sweeter. It makes the journey lighter in your spirit. It just lights you up that you can have somebody to hold you and to hug you and to tell you, keep going, I see you, or to drop you a note when you're not even thinking about it, or it just comes at, like I said, Reverend Kathy drops her morning inspirations and how they bless my soul. Somebody might just send you a little something when you're just thinking, oh, you know what, I just need a little help. I know I'm not standing in my truth and I could just fall back to my old habits. Somebody drops you a message and says, I see you, or where are you with that? How are you doing? So that may be just your first action right there, is to just say, this is the area where I want to, where I put my one, this is that area. If you want to drop it here. If not, I want you to write it on a Post-it note. And I want you to sit with that question. How much is it costing me in my spirit, in my mind, in my body, in my soul to stay in this place? And if the price is too much, I want you to fold that piece of paper. I want you to pray over it, meditate about it, do whatever it is you need to do. And I want you to make a conscious decision that you want to release it. And you may be ready to release it now. It may take you a few days, a few months. That's up to you, but you work with it. But you keep that piece of paper until you're ready to say, I am ready to let this go. And when you're ready to let it go, I want you to burn it. as a symbolic way of saying, I am ready to let this go because I want to turn up my light a little bit brighter. I want to stand in my truth. I want to stand in my bigness because we are at a season in our lives where our truth is blessing those around us. We are the light in the dark space, and your truth is your testimony. So when you unapologetically stand in your truth, when you stand in your amazement, when you stand in all the richness that is YOU, you show another person how to stand in theirs. When you just show up in the room in your greatness, somebody is always watching and they recognize, whoa, who is that? What is going on with her? You are literally giving somebody else permission to do the same. So what is your truth? What is your truth that you need and you know it's time for me to unapologetically stand in my truth? For me, I know I may be a little crazy. I love magic wands. You don't see me walking around the street with this because people might think I'm crazy. But you know what? So what? My truth is I love magic wands. And this was a gift from one of my friends, Kim Shirley. She found this magic wand for me. I love it. My girlfriend Bernadette calls me Princess Carolyn, and I love tiara. So this is my tiara. I have my favorite toys and things I love. That's my truth. I love girly things, and I love pink and beautiful, and I love sexy, and I love cute dresses that show a little bit of cleavage. I love to be a woman. So stand in your truth. It's time for us to stop hiding behind whatever it is that keeps us small, that keeps us safe, and connect with others who can call us forward in our truth. So if this is helpful, let me know. Let me know it's helpful. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm just going to take a minute and just pause here. Let me know if you have any questions about unapologetically standing in your truth. What does that mean for you? Are you willing to stand in your truth and show the world who you really are and stop playing small? Are there areas of your life where you may need some assistance? Is there something where you want to say, Caroline, I have a question. Drop me a comment and let me know. Oh, it is so helpful. Thank you, Camille. Thank you, lady, for jumping in. Who else? Is this any questions about standing in your truth that you want to ask me? And I'm just going to wait for those. Wish I knew how to turn those notifications off. Sorry about that. Anybody else? Any questions? Most helpful. Thinking, feeling my truth. Yes, I love it. That is a place to be. And put your hand on your heart. Take a deep breath when you're feeling and thinking, because we want to get away from the thinking, because you know what I mean. We don't always want to think our way into something. Feeling our way into something allows you to disconnect from some of the shoulds and some of the mind chatter and some of those outside influences. Feel into it. Put your hand on your heart and feel into what is my truth, because our mind can sometimes take us back to old stories, old tapes, or keep us right where we are in that, well, you've been here, it's comfortable, this is your truth. When your heart and your soul is saying, girls, knock it off. That is not my truth. There is something more. So place your hand on your heart, take a deep breath. Get in an Epsom salt bath when we get off of this, or if you're if you're skilled enough to watch and take your bath, get in an Epsom salt bath, which is detoxifying, with some rose petals, and find and think and feel, not think, feel your way into your truth as your body detoxifies and things start to come out, and it helps to clear your mind and come from that space, that heart space, which helps you to identify, what is it that I want? Is there something more? Where can I show up in my unapologetic truth? How do you sit through all the stuff? How do you shift through all the stuff? Picking one is hard. Denise, that's an excellent question. And so you start because, right, sifting through all the stuff is hard. So sometimes it's, okay, what is all the stuff? Sometimes it's just having a data dump from your brain. What's all the stuff? Write down all the stuff. Write down all the stuff. Index cards. Write down all the stuff. What calls to you first? And start with that one. Do one. My mom always told me, do one thing at a time. Because always when I'm trying to do a big project, particularly decluttering, oh my God, it's just like so overwhelming sometimes. And she would always say, just start in one place, Carolyn, and just stay in that one place, work on that, and then go to the next thing. So if you need to, write it out or put each one that just comes to your brain. Don't think about it. Write it on the index card. Then pick the one that calls to you and start working there. Because once you work on that one's going to lead you to the next one and the next one and the next one. It's like, how do you eat an elephant? And it's one bite at a time, because there's so much, we become overwhelmed, and then it's like paralysis sets in, right? It's like, oh my God, this is too much. It's overwhelming. And you just don't do anything. Has anybody ever done that? The project is so big, or you're trying to figure out a problem and it's so huge, and sometimes you just get stuck in that place because you just didn't pick one area. So let me know if that was helpful, Denise, and if it wasn't, we'll go back. But just pick one area, because you already know the one area that's nagging you the most. I believe that. You already know it. And it's just saying, okay, I'm going to work on that. And there may be some fear around working on that one place that scares you the most, but that's where the magic and the juice is. That's where working on that particular area is going to open up the windows for you to work on the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. There it is, the feeling versus overthinking. Hand on heart. Yes, hand on heart, hand on heart. Feel your way into it, ladies. Where have you, because a part of your truth is asking yourself, where have you not allowed yourself to feel? Where have you numbed out? Where have you been afraid to tap into? Where have you been afraid to, go into just a little bit deeper inside your soul, inside your body, inside this temple? Where have you shut down some emotion that, particularly, maybe it's been an area where you've been hurt, or just something along the way has just happened and you I just don't want to deal with that. So you don't. Where can you stand in your truth, in your emotions, by identifying, where have I shut down, in my heart space? Where have I been hurt that I don't feel in certain areas of my body? And that may be just doing a check, asking, hand on your head, hand on your heart, hand on your belly, hand on your thighs, like touching parts of your body where you feel like have been shut down for whatever area as a form of protection, because there are things that happen to us and the body will respond and it will protect itself. And your vulnerability is so sexy. Your vulnerability is beautiful. So where are you holding back? Where do you need to schedule some time to cry, to let some emotions out? Because some of us feel like, girl, I ain't got time for that. I got this to do and I got that to do. But sometimes we just need to cry. One of my delicious and yummy friends called me today and she's like, give me some brags about what's been going on. And I was just overwhelmed in the moment. I was just so overwhelmed in the moment because it just seemed like so many little things have been coming to distract me and get me off guard. Like the wash machine died, and what else happened? The wash machine died on me. Then I got a clog, and I got another clog in another room, and it's just like little things. Then the key got stuck in the car door, and I couldn't get the key out, and I was anyway. So it's those little things that have been coming to distract me and catch me and get me right off. And I'm like, no, I'm still going to show up. I'm still going to go forth, even if I have to cry. And I just had to tell her, I don't have any brags right now. She was so caring and so loving. And she said, oh, sweetie, well, I'm here. We call it in our space a swamp, right? When you're just like, this is not right and it does not feel good. And she just honored that space. And that's what we need. Our friends in our life who can honor our space and not tell me, oh girl, please, that's nothing, or get over yourself. There's people. No, she honored that space for me. She saw me right where I was. And we all need that in our lives, because there are things that sometimes pop up and they're nothing more than just distractions to get you off your game, to keep you from moving forward and what is next. And it's the bigger thing, the blessing. It's like putting your hand on the door and a distraction will come to be like, no, that door, no. But you have to keep going forward. Did that this morning at 5 a.m. Just cry. Yes. And release plates of, oh, that is huge. Where in your life do you need to forgive? I've been also thinking about that a lot. Like, where in my space is there any unforgiveness for? And unforgiveness not only of others, but of myself. What are some things that, that still haunt you? What are some things that you still need to say, you know what, that happened, but it's still it hurts you, but because forgiveness is about, we need to, yes, forgive others because we want God to forgive us, but we also need to forgive ourselves. There's times when we've just done things or thought things or showed up in ways that we know it's not who we are now. And it's like, okay, I need to just forgive me. And watch your shoulders drop. Word of the day, forgiveness. Yes, watch your shoulders drop. Watch some stuff just melt away when you think about just, maybe I need to just forgive myself. Because, we can spend a lot of time just damaging our own self with our words, with our thoughts. Again, when you think you're not good enough, or you're not this, or you're not that, or things aren't going right. I know sometimes I can get so in my head, and I have some amazing friends to pull me back down. Real talk. Yes, definitely cry for places of my failure and fault, and amen. And we all have them. Amen. And we all have those places and spaces. Forgive myself to be able to forgive others. Yes, we have to be able to forgive ourselves and also forgive others. Because at the end of the day, forgiveness is for you. Forgiveness is for your peace. Forgiveness is for you to get back into your flow and into your connection with your with your higher self, with your higher being, with God, with universe, with source, whatever you call it. Source, forgiveness opens up the pathways for more love, for more peace, for more joy. It helps you with any dis-ease that you are going through. Forgiveness is not about how the other person is going to feel, because you're not responsible for that. Forgiveness is for your heart space, so that you can move through with peace and with love. And you know what? There may even be some people in your life who are not even here anymore that you need or desire to forgive, and you can still do that. You can talk to them, you can write a letter, you can find whatever tool it is you need to release that energy that is holding you back, because that is a story or a situation. It's in the past, and this is your time to be right here. Your time to unapologetically stand in your truth. Your time to grow, to glow up, right? And it's your time to do all the things that are ordained for you in this season. God has forgiven, so it is my turn to forgive. Absolutely. Yes, thank you. So that is a huge one, about unapologetically standing in our truth, because there's so much for us to do. And forgiveness is it's like a weight. It's like somebody just you have a knapsack on and you can't see behind you, and somebody keeps putting bricks in the knapsack, and you're like, why is this thing getting so heavy? And you start hunching over eventually, and then you're down on your knees, and you're like, why is this thing, is like a cruel joke, because it's just so heavy. And then as somebody else comes along and is like, girl, let me help you. What are you doing with these bricks in your bag? And they start taking them out, and you start standing a little taller, and you start feeling a little better, and your back starts to move and you can move in different directions and you start to feel yourself expand. That's what forgiveness does for you. So think about, is there any area where you are holding yourself back? And really spend some time with that this week. We're going to check in on Thursday and see where you are with that. I love that you're showing up tonight. And I love those. Thank you for commenting on where you are. But this is your time to unapologize. And when you catch yourself this week, catch yourself with your words. What are your words and what are you thinking? And is there something that you're doing that is truly and authentically you, and you find yourself apologizing for it? Pay attention this week. Are there any areas where you're apologizing for some part of yourself that you love, that you think is amazing, that is a gift from on high? And are you apologizing for it? Don't worry, Celine, you can catch the replay, girl, but thank you for being here. Where in your life do you need to take that stand? And I want you to really focus on it this week, because this is your time. This is your time. Why? Because I need you and you need me. We have to make sure we're lighting this world up with all of our gifts and all of our talents, and we're not playing, and we're playing bigger. Are you going to step, as soon as you get off, and are you going to play 100% bigger like tomorrow or as soon as we hang up? Maybe. But then again, maybe you're not. Maybe you're going to work into it. You're going to move into it slowly. I don't apologize. I said when you say something, you mean it. Is that I don't apologize. I was said when you say something, you mean it. No. If I'm understanding your question right, Camille, yes, you should say what you mean and mean what you say, right? It's not, I was always taught, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. So we can feel free to communicate with each other, but that's okay. We can feel free to communicate with each other. And sometimes there are things that we need to say to people that aren't always easy per se. We have to let people know how we feel, or if somebody's violating you, or in some way they have crossed your value system, and you need to let them know how you feel about it. Communication is key, because that's the problem in a lot of relationships is communication. But the beauty and the magic is in how you say it. I believe that you should surround yourself with people that you can say and speak your truth. But it should be done with love and respect. Do we always have to agree? No. We can agree to disagree. But the fact of the matter is, when you keep something inside, it's causing you. It's causing you the pain. It's causing you the hurt. And sometimes people won't hear you, because they're not ready to receive, or they think it's just, they're in their own stuff. But you still have a right to speak your truth, because it clears your inner space. It clears your inner woman, your inner man. So you have every right to speak what your truth is, because we teach people how to treat us. And it's so important that we continue. If somebody is not treating us well, you need to continue to teach people how to treat you. And that's your right. And that's a part of standing in your truth. I said earlier, I don't choose my words wisely. You're doing well, girl. Keep showing up. I love it. I love it. Keep speaking your truth, because that's how people get to know you. And you, at this stage today, I'm Carolyn Jones on August, what's today? 27th? What's today's date? August 28th, 2017. But each and every day I'm becoming a better version of myself, because I'm learning something new every day, whether that be about myself or someone else. Thank you, darling. Whether that be about myself or someone else, I'm learning something new every day. I'm learning something about myself. I'm learning something about others. I'm challenging myself to be a better human being in the world. So every day I'm up to becoming the woman that my divine destination that I envision. I already see it. And I'm on the path to get there each and every day. Will I make mistakes? Absolutely. Maybe will I fall? I don't know. But you know what? I have lived long enough, and hopefully I will keep on living. I have lived long enough to know, that God is still in control. And when the times when I felt like I was going to fall and there was nothing left, there was always something more. And that's just my testimony. That's what I know. Are there times that are very scary? Absolutely. But I'm still here. And I have to say, God has kept me through some stuff and still continues to keep me. And that's my truth. And I can't keep that back from anybody who would stand in my place and my space. And when they say, how did you do it? I have to give the credit to God. I remember having a corporate job, and it was a sales job. I had no sales experience. I came in, I had a territory that was negative growth. And I took the territory to the #1 territory running. Then the second year I did it again, but I was just doing my job. I really didn't understand all the numbers and the compensation plan to the fullest extent. I was just doing my job, and I was showing up. I was doing what I was instructed to do. And I remember my manager saying, well, Carolyn, you're going to be, on this panel, and they want to know how you did it. And I said, it was God. She was like, no, you got to give some, your strategy and, how you did it and what were the things you set out to do every day. And I'm thinking, seriously, it was really God. Like, I just showed up. I was so grateful to have this job, and I just showed up every day and did my job. But, for some that they don't get that. That's not enough for them. It has to be something concrete and black and white, and that's what I have for you. And that's my truth. That's what I know. Sure, I had to get up, I had to show up, I had to drive to work. I knew my product. I knew, product knowledge. I knew how to interact with people. But when I tell you the blessings that were bestowed upon me, I know in my heart that was God who did it. So that's how I stand in my truth. And I will share that with anybody. So I want you to work on, what is it that is getting in the way of your truth this week? Write it on that piece of paper. Ask yourself, what is the cost that it's costing you? And when you're ready, I want you to burn it. We're going to talk about what happened this week as a result of our conversation tonight. Confirmation. I was reflecting today on how I felt I was mistreated in a particular situation. So Spirit said to make a list of how I feel I should have been treated, and then take the list and do for me what I expected. Oh yes, what I expected from those others. So I am working on self-love and affirmation. Reverend Kathy, that is beautiful. Yes. Can you imagine a world? I love that. Thank you for sharing that. If we all did that, if we all treated others the way, if we all looked at ourselves and remember a time when you felt like you should have been treated a certain way, and then go and do that same for others, what kind of world would this be? And we can do that. We can start. It just takes one person to get it started. We can do that. I love that. Thank you. Yes, well said, Miss Kathy. Yes, yes, yes. I love that. So as you work with this topic of unapologetically standing in your truth, if you have any questions, feel free to stop by my page and drop your questions, drop your ahas, drop your revelations, invite your friends to listen in. Let me know. Send me some testimonies about what you're experiencing from this. But I really want us to unapologetically, remember that word, unapologetically stand in your truth. Feel into it. Don't think into it. Find those areas where it's time for you to play a different game, play a bigger game, play a brighter game. Stand up in your truth. And maybe you need to say something to somebody that you haven't been saying. And maybe you need to do something that you know you need to do for yourself in the area of mind, body, spirit, in the areas of your health, in the areas of your relationship, in the areas of your finances. Maybe it's time to stop doing something that you've been doing that's comfortable and it's no longer serving you. You're just doing it out of habit, out of comfort. What is that for you? What is something you need to start doing? Is it writing that outline for that book? Is it writing, is it thinking about there's something that you really want to do for yourself? There's some new adventure that you want to take. There's something new you want to do, but you're afraid that it may upset the status quo. It could upset the family. It could upset hubby. It could upset the kids. But you know there's something inside of you that you really want to do. Is there something that you just want for yourself because you do so much for everybody else that you just want a little piece of something for yourself? That you just are excited about calling your own. What is it for you? What is your truth in this season? So I'm going to leave you with one more thing. Again, please feel free to drop me questions, ask, comment below, send me any testimonies, revelations, or ahas, because I would love to share them on my page. But tonight, I want to leave you with two things. First, I want to leave you with Maya Angelou's poem, Still I Rise. And the poem reads, I'm sure many of you have heard it before, but it's so apropos for tonight. You may write me down in history with bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still, like dust, I rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? 'Cause I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room? Just like moons and like suns, with the certainty of tides, just like hopes springing high, still I rise. Did you want to see me broken? Bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries. Does my haughtiness offend you? Don't take it awful hard, 'cause I laugh like I've got gold mines digging in my own backyard. You may shoot me with your words. You may cut me with your eyes. You may kill me with your hatefulness, but still, like air, I rise. Does my sexiness upset you? Does it come as a surprise that I dance like I've got what? Anybody know? Diamonds at the meeting of my thighs. Out of the huts of history's shame, I rise. Up from a past that's rooted in pain, I rise. I'm a black ocean, leaping and wide. Welling and swelling, I bear in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into a daybreak that's wondrously clear, I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave, I am the dream and the hope of the slave. I rise, I rise, I rise. And this week, as you operate with the tool of unapologetically standing in your truth, I want you to ask yourself where it is that you will rise, because it's time. It's time for you to rise and stand in your truth. It has been a pleasure being in this space, in this place with you, this space and place with you. For anybody, this is a 7-week taste of the Come Home to Yourself experience. And if you want to know more and delve deeper, and this work is calling to you, drop me a comment below or send me a direct message and set up a call with me. And we can talk about what the next steps would be for you on this journey of coming home to yourself, because we all need to continue and rise into our unapologetic truth and come home to ourselves each and every day. It's a practice. I love you. Good night. Thank you. Talk to you soon.